there are many different kinds of consequences. The primary being that you're never going to have a business that actually develops products and services that are going to serve the needs of that full community. And there are many, many examples of this. You know, we could take crash test dummies in cars, which historically have only been male sized or male anatomy, which means that actually women are much more likely to be injured in a car accident than men if they get into a car accident. And that's because people just have this default notion that, you know, male is the default, and haven't considered that in fact women are 50% of the drivers, and you know, women can be pregnant and drive. So I don't like to make the business case argument, not because I don't think that there isn't eventually a business case for being more inclusive. I think if companies were more inclusive, we would eventually have much better outcomes when it comes to innovation and performance. In fact, we don't even really know what the potential could be because organizations have not yet really been inclusive. However, there are several problems with making the business case. The first is that when you make the business case, you get people focused on the economic benefits. And so then you are implying that you should only invest in creating more diversity and more inclusive organizations if you can actually attach it to financial numbers, which in the short term is sometimes hard to do. What it also means is in the moment of a financial downturn, as we are of course experiencing now, research has shown that organizations are much more likely to ramp back on any diversity efforts because it's been positioned as something that's only good for finance, you know, your finances, and therefore you shouldn't really do it if your finances are struggling. The second reason that it's not very useful is it actually it has a way of othering or distancing the people who you're supposedly trying to benefit with the business case. So if you say, well, women should be in leadership because they will lead to better financial performance, then what you're saying is that women shouldn't be in leadership unless they actually increase the performance. They can't be the same as, they have to actually be better. And it has a way of othering. The same thing if you could make the argument for racial diversity. It has a way of pointing to people and saying, you're other and you only get to belong to our system, the straight white male cisgender system, if you're better than the existing system, which is basically saying that we can be however we want as white men, but if anyone else wants to be included, you actually have to improve things. And so it does a lot of psychological damage and social damage inside organizations if you position it in that way. To solve this problem, we need to make the system such that women can advance. So until we change our mindset and really understand that the existing systems are designed to hold back, not that we individually try to hold back people, but the systems themselves and how we understand leadership and how we understand what merit is designed to actually hold back everyone except for this privileged group. And so when you frame it as a power difference, I really agree with that, because I think this is really an issue of power and who gets to decide who gets to advance, what merit even is. And until we fix that power dynamic, we're not going to be seeing equality in our society.